Morning. I want to talk about the right to speak out. And it's one of our main rights. And when they formed the human rights laws in 1947, this was one of the key ones because a lot of what the human rights came out of really did was what came out of what Nazi Germany was doing. And you couldn't speak. Someone like me would be locked up, or I'd disappear in 70% of the world. It really would. I mean, we are so lucky to have the ability to do this. And this is freedom of speech and that. A lot of my friends and a lot of people kicked off when Nick Griffin appeared on Question Time. Well, all I have to say to them is you don't believe in freedom of speech and democracy. That freedom of speech goes for everybody. Okay? Freedom of speech goes for everybody, not one group. And it seems like, to me, one group is becoming our so-called voice. First of all, you need to ask yourself, did we ask you to be our voice? Was you asked? That's what it's about. You take someone and you make them a representative of your views. That's how politics works. And that's the way. And that's why you get behind that person. And that person, that's why you have an MP. So you could go to that MP and say, blah, 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 blah. And they can go to the right department. That's how it works. That's democracy. I've talked a lot, and I will carry on talking about this, is fear. When a body of any sort, left, right, in the middle, anarchist, or anything, uses fear, it's lost. Fear does not gain people. I went to my first political meeting was a CND meeting in 1982. I would have been about 15, nearly 16 that year. Yeah, I'd been about 15. And we watched the film War Games, the original 1964 BBC band one. That was the premise of it. Guy did a talk. They brought a survivor of Hiroshima. Okay, none of that affected me. It was the whopping big map of all the strike zones in Essex. Badwell Nuclear Power Station, Maldonado Barracks, Stansted Airport, and a shed load more. And my backside went, because I looked at it and went, I haven't got a chance, plus being next to London. That is what converted me. That map. And I was like, right, I'm a full paid member of the CND. And I have been since. And I have been a supporter of CND. I've been on marches and I have done it. And I've been there and I've done that sort of thing. And I put my arse behind it. And I've done that since I was 15, 16. And I have to sit back. And when I went into treatment because of my addiction, I found out something very important. And I was introduced to this thing, and I don't think there's much of it around at the moment, is responsibility. For the last 10 years of my life, I have had to take massive responsibility. I am responsible. Even though I've got autism and Asperger's and other stuff like that, I am still responsible for what comes out of this gob. What I write on Facebook. I am responsible for that. And the thing about Facebook is you can't see the person. You can't see the person reading it. So you could just dump loads of stuff. And some people have been, I believe, and not seeing the consequences. And that is what I want to talk about today. Consequences. And it's a really difficult one. And I can't emphasised to you even more. I heard an El Salvadorian guy speak years ago in London, and he came over during the Civil War with his mum when he was a kid, and he said, I will tell you, at the end of the talk, he said, I will tell you what happened in El Salvador, and it happens in every revolution, every civil war, every military coup. Any time the people oppress, they go into two camps. There's the one camp that is, yeah, let's all join together and unite. And then there's the second camp, and it's, fuck you, me and my family only. And they will grass you up. And he said, I'm sorry to say, and it will happen here in Britain, the first camp will be smaller. That'll be bigger. It happens. It happens. When the communists left Berlin, one of the first places to go, and they stormed it, was the Ministry of Information. Reels and reels of information about people and themselves. And they looked for it, and they found out, oh right, so he grassed them up. This is what happens. What you seek is what you get. And it is important to understand this. You are talking and doing stuff. Now, if you went on a march for the CND, you're not affecting anybody, really. You're not. What we're doing now, and how society Britain is, it's not about you, it's not about me, it's about 66 million people in the UK. I have questions for you. Do you think you could handle another 6 months of lockdown? Do you truly, truly ask yourself that question? Could you handle another 6 months of lockdown? Could you handle another Christmas like this? Are you going to take full responsibility if I commit suicide, or one of your children, one of your mates' children commits suicide, or ends up in hospital? Are you going to take that responsibility? Are you going to stand there? I don't mean putting a thumbs up on Facebook and going, yep, that was me. Oh yeah? Because we don't have the power. We don't. I'm sorry, we don't have the power. We don't have the tools to obtain the power. The reason the Russian Revolution happened is that you had millions of armed men on the front in World War I. We haven't got any. I've got to say, and I really hate saying this, I am surprised Bojo and his gang hasn't declared martial law and curfews. France is 6 p.m. Spain is the same. You do have a right to speak out. You do have a right, and you should exercise that. But it's now considering everybody. It's not about you. It's not about you. It's about all of us. And they're going to turn on you. If Bojo goes into Parliament today and says, sod this, martial law lockdown, they're going to blame you. They're not going to blame Bojo. They're going to come and find you. I can't see my nan. Bang. Okay? That's what's going to happen. I promise you that. People are angry and they can't take it out on people. So they will find the people, and then if you say, yeah, I was on that project, bang. And what will the police do? What do you think the police will do? Oh dear. That's a shame, mate. We are being divided up. If we unite, if we step back, because I believe we're right at the edge of the pit now, we are. The rocks are crumbling away. If we step back, we will unify. And a lot of you will say to me, oh, you're just selling out, Kev. You're just selling out, mate. Maybe I am. Maybe I am. I don't think I can handle another 6 months of lockdown. And I tell you now, I cannot. And I won't. If there's another 6 months of lockdown, I tell you now, if they announce it this week in Parliament, I want everyone who went on that demonstration to defriend me straight away, because I'm done with it. Because I'm in here, and there's a lot of people. Could you imagine being on the 15th floor? I don't think it's going to last long. I think it's going to get bad. It's called taking responsibility and being an adult. Yes, you should exercise your rights. As I said, what you seek is what you get. If you want to seek anger, you'll get anger back. I'm seeking love, unity and peace. That's what I'm seeking. And that's what I want. Because I know that's what I need in my life. Peace, love and out, and power to the people.